Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Prince William reportedly insisted on a royal walkabout with Prince Harry and Meghan following Queen Elizabeth's passing, despite the perceived awkwardness as detailed in a new book. William and Kate were joined by Harry and Meghan as they greeted well-wishers outside Windsor Castle in the days following the Queen's death on September 8, 2022. This appearance surprised many, given the reported strain in the relationship between the Fab Four, a term used to describe the four royals before Harry and Meghan's transition to non-senior members and their relocation to the United States in 2020. In his new book titled Charles III, New King, New Court, The Inside Story, royal biographer Robert Hardman describes the remarkable scene that unfolded at Cambridge Gate on Windsor Castle's Long Walk on September 10th, shedding light on the events behind the scenes. According to Hardman, the walkabout was primarily Prince William's idea, organised within a mere 2 hours. Despite the inherent awkwardness of the situation, William believed it was the right gesture to honour his grandmother's memory, seeking input from a few others as well. "I know it's awkward, but isn't it right in the context of my grandmother's death?" Prince William is reported to have said. The walkabout continued for 40 minutes, during which the two couples interacted with well-wishers and mourners who had gathered to pay their respects to the late Queen. A member of the Wales's team reportedly noted that neither couple found the encounter easy. In another part of Hardman's book, he reveals the moment when Charles learned about his mother's passing. Charles, then the Prince of Wales, had been out picking mushrooms and clearing his mind when he received the news of Queen Elizabeth's death. It was during his return to Balmoral Castle, their Scottish holiday home, that his most senior aide informed him. Charles pulled over and was addressed as Your Majesty for the first time, as detailed in Hardman's biography. According to a memo written by her private secretary, Queen Elizabeth II's final moments were described as very peaceful, and she wouldn't have been aware of anything. Buckingham Palace has chosen not to comment on the unauthorized biography that is currently being serialized in the Daily Mail. The book reveals that Charles had important discussions with William after the Queen's passing, with Princess Anne welcoming Harry to Balmoral and providing support during this challenging time. However, King Charles and Prince William opted to have these conversations without Prince Harry. Hardman wrote in the book, that evening the couple would be joined for dinner by the new Prince of Wales, who would also stay at Birkhall. The king needed to have vital but discreet discussions with his elder son. In years gone by, such a moment would automatically have included his younger son too. The decision to exclude Prince Harry was made to ensure a clear and focused conversation without distractions. A member of the king's staff commented, "You have to remember, losing a second parent is a big thing. Becoming the senior generation is a big thing." And there he was, expected to console the whole country. The Daily Mail's report also details King Charles' actions after learning of his mother's death. He called both of his sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, instructing them to travel to Scotland as soon as possible to say their goodbyes. When the king attempted to contact Prince Harry personally, he found that Prince Harry was already en route to Scotland, making it impossible to reach him before the news broke to the public. Harry was in Germany promoting the Invictus Games when he received news of his grandmother's declining health. Princess Anne provided comfort and escorted him to the Queen's bedroom for a private moment to pay his respects. The biography also mentions the discovery of a locked red box of paperwork at the late Queen's deathbed containing 2 sealed letters, one addressed to the then Prince Charles and another to Sir Edward. Additionally, the box contained the Queen's choices for individuals to be awarded the Order of Merit for their exceptional service across the Commonwealth. During Queen Elizabeth's final hours, King Charles and Queen Camilla spent time with her privately. Princess Anne, a minister from the nearby church, and the late Queen's senior dresser took turns at her bedside. Before the late Queen Elizabeth had become noticeably frail, there had been years of anxiety within the royal household about how long she could continue to reign. Detailed thought had been given to the prospect of a regency where then Prince Charles might have to stand in for her if she was incapacitated. As reported in the Daily Mail, a palace aide revealed he didn't want to dwell on the details. "I think he felt that if you reach out for something, you are tempting fate." According to an official, the government had long been gently lobbying Prince Charles' office to come up with a plan. From time to time, royal aides would draw up plans for a variety of regency options, ranging from regency light with minimal princely involvement and reversible regency in the event of a short-term incapacitation. Another aide revealed that they had dreaded something happening in public, so engagements became very tight and very short with limited media. A friend of the Queen is quoted in the book as saying she had come to realize that the medical prognosis meant she was not going to emulate her mother and reach 100, so she had been determined to make the most of that final year. She made sure she had all the family up and over this summer at Balmoral so that the young ones in particular would always be left with happy memories of her. The book tells us, on the evening of September 6th, the Queen was energised, having met the departing Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his replacement Liz Truss. She was quite buzzy over pre-dinner drinks, said one person in the party, which included Princess Anne and her oldest grandchild, Peter Phillips. But then she said she was going upstairs to have dinner alone. She spent the following day in bed and cancelled a video meeting with the Privy Council, its members told on the grounds of medical advice. On the evening of September 7th, Charles was advised by Anne and his private secretary to make his way to the Queen's bedside, ASAP. Elizabeth is even getting credit for when she died, a source said. As it turned out, dying in Scotland in September was hailed by all concerned. Scotland was the most ambitious location for ceremonial, but it does look brilliant in September. One senior member of the team said it also meant that we could plan a coronation in May, which is ideal. Had the Queen died in July, it would have meant a winter coronation, which would have been miserable. God bless her. Palace Intrigue will be right back. It's interesting to see how Zara and Mike Tyndall are being considered as more marketable figures compared to Harry and Meghan, as they were photographed greeting Prince Harry's best friend in Australia. Zara and Mike Tyndall have certainly made a name for themselves in their respective fields, with Zara being an equestrian and Mike having a successful podcast. Their involvement as ambassadors for Magic Millions and their sports backgrounds have contributed to their marketability. Nacho Figueres, the Argentine polo player and a close friend of both Prince Harry and Zara Tyndall, adds an interesting dynamic to the story. Figueres, often referred to as the David Beckham of polo, has strong connections with both Zara and Prince Harry, further highlighting the connections within the social circle of royals and sports personalities. It's worth noting that brand experts see potential for Zara to profit significantly from her associations, particularly her role as the Magic Millions Racing Women Ambassador. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Apple, Spotify, or your app of choice. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.